Hey, Finovate, how we doing? Oh, come on. How we doing? Good? All right. My marketing department wouldn't let me do this entire presentation via interpretive dance. So I thought, listen, there's no way that they're going to pay attention to me for all this time. But I do have an unscripted moment for all of you. This morning at 7:30 a.m., it was announced a company that you know and love, ShareFile, is being acquired. We are being acquired by Progress Software on the NASDAQ for $875 million. We are beyond excited. This is going to be a really fun next step on our journey. So as all of you take a look at this, understand that because it's only a commitment, I can't give you any information, so don't ask, right? We have to go through a regulatory compliance, but we are really, really excited for this next chapter in our journey. Let me tell you a little bit about ShareFile. So many of you are customers. Some of you know and love our workflow management, our collaborative commitment to excellence. But 20 years ago, we were a small company. And in that 20 years, we've grown into one of the leaders of digital content management. The landscape has changed a lot in that 20 years. We were built on a commitment of taking really complex solutions and trying to solve those in the simplest way we could and giving an excellent customer experience. Now, we didn't just embrace digital disruption, we kind of grew up in digital disruption. But one lesson as we continued our journey became really, really clear. It's that digital transformation, it can't just be about adding technology. It has to be about lessening the obstacles that get in the way of seamless experience. And that's actually what I want to talk about today. So, I don't know if any of you have heard the term digital friction. It's a word that we use in our industry a lot, but digital friction comes when you buy a whole bunch of great disruptive technology, but that disruptive technology actually creates friction in a process. You have cumbersome workflows. You have to balance security bottlenecks, and it creates a digital experience that is not good for our customers. You know, key challenges today keep us balancing innovation with smooth, easy, user-friendly access. And that's what we do at ShareFile. So whether you've grown up digitally or you're adapting digitally, as many of you are, the same problem of this disruption exists, and it's hard to navigate. You know, it's 10 a.m., you've seen some great demos this morning. Fantastic demos. It's been really fun for me to see some of the innovation that's coming. You're going to see a lot more demos coming. And I want you to take a look at all this software. You should buy a bunch of it. But realize that in doing so, you are actually could create, even by best intentions, what could be a seamless customer interaction could actually turn out to be a cumbersome mess. I'm sure some of you know that this is what your workflows might look like. Our customers now crave simplicity. They want it easy, and they will hunt for easy, and they will get easy. Too many digital, the trap of innovation is that even with good intentions, we create complexity. We create fragments. We create bad user experiences. And customers are slowly quitting companies that create this. You may still see them on your balance sheets, but what actually has a tendency to happen is that when they diversify and look for new services, they're not going with companies and organizations that are too cumbersome to deal with. They're going with ones that have an easy, simplistic use case and an easy, simplistic customer experience. This is what is going to be the differentiator in the coming years. It's going to be customer satisfaction and employee experience that's tailored to the customer. If you focus on those things, you can have a really bright future. Those are the customers those are the companies that are going to grow in the new world. Now, I'm going to tell you about 2 days ago when I was a little whiny baby face, okay? You can laugh at that. I checked into my airline, and I have a status that I enjoy in an airline. I've used this airline for decades. And unfortunately, because I had to book my flight on my corporate app, my status didn't translate over. So when I checked in, I didn't have the status that I normally enjoy. And I was a baby about it. I will fully admit it. I was like, I don't have time to call, and man, this is annoying. And I started asking myself questions like, well, do I really need to stay with this airline? If they can't make this, then what am I going to do? And I have this credit card that I spent all this money with. And listen, after a few phone calls and a couple of text messages, it was solved. It wasn't that big of a deal. But as I was presenting and preparing for this conversation, I thought to myself, if a guy like me, who has been with the same airline, loyally devoted for 10 years over, I have a credit card with that airline where I enjoy the miles. If I was willing to dump them because of a bad experience, how much more likely are my customers to do the same thing? How much more likely are you to do the same thing? I'm sure some of you have that same problem. This is why ShareFile exists. So we play a pivotal role in this space. Now, whether you have 10,000 applications in your organization or you have just a few applications in your organization, reducing digital friction and giving a good customer experience is what we do. We want to streamline interactions, allowing for smoother and productive workflows, but you got to maintain security in that. Our customers' expectations, just like mine, have increased dramatically. But by obtaining good workflows, by creating effortless communications, what used to take hours or days now takes moments. Automated workflows, e-signature automation, and workflow automation are the wave of the future because they increase our productivity, they increase our revenue, and they decrease our risk. So by decreasing digital friction and focusing on exceptional user experience, these are going to be the companies that are differentiators in the future. You can't have a 3 Michelin star experience for a customer without a 3-star experience for an employee. And this is so overlooked. When we talk about digital friction, you can't forget the employee experience too. Because chaos behind the scenes, as you see up here, does not translate to great customer experience. They are tightly defined with each other. An experience cannot be built off of a foundation of bad employee experience. So ShareFile improves both of these things. We employ the employee experience along with the customer experience. Reducing manual workflows and creating document workflows that are easy and automated and reduce the amount of time that customers and employees are spending on rote tasks so that they can get to the business of providing service. This directly relates to how much revenue you're going to make. Let me tell you a story. Now, we have a lot of stories at ShareFile. We have a lot of customers, and we have customers that have hundreds of thousands of employees who are using our software to deliver audits in US, Canada, and India. But I want to talk a little bit about Strategic Treasurer, because I think this one's really interesting. About 13 years ago, well, first of all, let me tell you about Strategic Treasurer. Strategic Treasurer is a great organization. They are an advisory organization that works with treasury departments. So whether large companies, small companies, whether fintech, banking, anyone that works with treasury is a customer of Strategic Treasurer. They came to us about 13 years ago and said, we have a problem. We are creating blockage between us and our customers because of the fact that we're using email to transact sensitive data. I don't want you to raise your hand, but I'm assuming that there are a lot of you in this room that are using email to transact sensitive data. This is a big problem. Don't do that. But this is what Strategic Treasurer was doing. They were emailing back and forth, and sometimes those emails were too big and they didn't go through. They created a lot of touch that had to happen between a customer and Strategic Treasurer. And at the end of the day, they came to us and said, we need to work on how to fix this and make it better. ShareFile transformed their business. We saved them thousands of hours a year in productivity. We actually decreased their risk, increased their ability to do audits, and we even increased their revenue. And what we learned in this process at ShareFile, which was something super interesting, we don't just solve technical problems, and you shouldn't either. We have to reshape the landscape of how our customers interact with us by reducing digital friction. Now today, I purposely didn't do any demos or anything like that because what we want you to do is we want you to come down to booth 104 and we want you to see what it is that we can do. We want to hear more about your business. We want to hear about the challenges that you have. We want to see if we can solve some of those challenges. And we want to share some of the things that we've done with other organizations that might benefit you too. I'm very excited about the future of ShareFile. I'm very excited to be here at Finovate. Thank you so much for your time, and go buy some Progress software.